This is the greatest deception, I believe, in the history of the world, what's happening right now.
The Bible warns us that even Jesus, his own words, even the elect would be deceived.
NASA hiring priests preparing for contact.
The lie is Darwinism, there's no doubt about it. There's a church in Switzerland that has an AI Jesus. You can go up and talk to him. I mean, how do you know what's real and what isn't? You don't know.
All arrows point right here. Hey, before we get started, I want to say thank you to all you guys that went on and subscribed and liked. Many of you did that, and as a thank you, we're going to show you the entire show. Thank you so much for doing that. If you haven't subscribed and liked, do it right now. Just hit that subscribe button and that like button. When you subscribe, it means you're going to get all the information that we put out. When you like it, it means a lot of other people are going to find out about it. Thank you again for all of you guys that subscribed and liked. We're going to show you the whole show. Let me tell you, the show we have coming up today is a barn burner. Stay tuned. We're getting started right now. Welcome to Tipping Point. I'm Jimmy Evans. Well, you need to buckle your seatbelt again for today's program because this is part 2 of the interview I did last week with L.A. Marzulli about UFOs and extraterrestrials. Part 1 of this interview was mind-blowing. He has written a powerful new book that exposes the truth about UFOs and extraterrestrials that's been covered up for decades. Once again on today's program, L.A. is going to be exposing hard evidence that tells the truth about what's going on and how it relates to the end times. L.A. Marzulli is an author, lecturer, and filmmaker. He's written many books, including the very popular Nephilim trilogy. L.A. is a frank supernaturalist who lectures on the subject of UFOs, the Nephilim, and ancient prophetic text. I've been following him for years, and I'm excited today to have him joining me again to discuss his new book, Rungs of Disclosure, Following the Trail of Extraterrestrials and the End Times. L.A., thank you so much for joining me again today.
It's my honor. Thanks for having me here.
It says the fifth rung, the official report.
Yeah, that's a huge nothing burger. So we're all waiting for the government to come out with their, release. It's like 9 pages about, well, there are 243 UFOs, only a couple of them we could debunk. Okay, great. Thank you. Case closed. Nothing to see here. Keep moving. Meanwhile, to give you an idea of where your taxpayer money goes, there's a report on bovine flatulence and its impact on greenhouse gases. It's like almost 1,000 pages long.
Oh, gosh. So this is fascinating. The 6th rung, NASA hiring priests preparing for contact.
Why priests? Why priests? Because Catholicism is the largest denomination of Christianity. And so that's what they're couching their bets. So who are the priests that they hired and what are they preparing for? And why would they release a statement like that? Why would that statement be newsworthy? Why? Wouldn't you want to keep that from no. This is deliberate. This is absolutely deliberate. What's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's just deliberate that they know what they're doing and they're slowly releasing to see what the Christian community will do, see what the American people will do. And for the most part, it's flatline. The churches don't care. Well, we don't want to scare anybody. This has nothing to do with the Bible. Well, it has everything to do with the Bible.
Yes, it does.
The Bible talks about a great deception. The Bible warns us that even Jesus, his own words, even the elect would be deceived. Jesus telling us that men faint from fearfulness coming upon the earth. It's not under the earth. It's not from the earth. It's coming upon the earth. So what is he talking about? What is he alluding to? Why would he tell us to be like the days of Noah? What differentiates the days of Noah? So, it's all there, but you've got to connect the dots. And that's what, my ministry does, hopefully connect the dots.
Yeah, and the Catholics, they're waiting for something, aren't they?
Yeah,
and Tom Horn talked about that a lot.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yes, and they have the Mount Graham Observatory, and they're saying they're watching something coming, and that when aliens get here, they're prepared to baptize the aliens and all that type of thing.
That's actually the 23rd rung, which is not in the book. That's actually the 23rd rung on the ladder of disclosure, which talks about the Vatican preparing for extraterrestrial contact.
This is a worldwide phenomenon, and this is the thing that I think the church needs to understand. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, when it talks about, because they did not receive the love of the truth so as to be saved, God will give them over to strong delusion.
There you go.
That they would believe the lie. What do you believe the lie is?
The lie is Darwinism. There's no doubt about it. No doubt.
Really?
Yeah, because Darwinism is sacrosanct in both the academic community and also the scientific community. The whole planet runs on Darwinism. There is no God. There are no miracles. There is no prophecy. There's no right or wrong, no evil, no demons, no angels, none of that. None of that exists. It's all empirical. It's all what we can see, smell, touch, feel, see, that whole deal. That's it. That's it. And we all just evolved from primordial slime over billions of years. They just keep adding zeros. It's like,
Right. Oh, yeah.
it's just that. But the neo-Darwinists, with the discovery, Watson and Crick, of the DNA molecular structure, realized that somebody created this thing somewhere. Ben Stein's groundbreaking film, Expelled No Intelligence Allowed, Stein talks about it, with great exposition. And he sits down with Richard Dawkins, the premier, one of the premier evolutionists of the 20th and 21st centuries. And Dawkins has no idea where life came from. And he points out there. Well, the neo-Darwinists are looking out there. They're looking to the universe, the stars. And they're saying that we were seeded here by an advanced race of extraterrestrials, which, by the way, that same idea, that same paradigm, your kids and your grandkids are already watching it every Friday night on the Ancient Alien show, every single Friday night. Yeah. Ancient astronaut theorists believe that we were visited. And of course, they promulgate the Anunnaki, which, in my opinion, hails back to the Genesis 6 narrative. These are fallen angels. They are not aliens from some other, from Zeta Reticuli or Epsilon Eridani. They are interdimensional entities with a very nefarious agenda.
So, but before you became a Christian, you were a New Ager, right?
All day long, yep.
And did you, I know Billy Crone was also a Satanist and New Ager. Did in your New Age experience, did like your spirit guides or whatever tell you that there was going to be a visitation?
I never got, the spirit guides never told me that, but I was told by other New Agers, people of my ilk and my belief system at that time, that there was, that our space brothers were going to show up. And I heard, what I'm about to read to you, this is a little tract that we created. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Brad Myers. And this is channeled information from a woman who goes into a trance and then receives messages. We're told not to do this in the biblical narrative.
Right.
This is from an entity that's calling itself the Pleiadians, right? And this is what it says. This is one of the, actually, I'll read the whole thing. We are here. We are the Pleiadians. Humanity is learning a great lesson at this time. The lesson is, of course, to realize your godhood. So right off the bat, there's the first check. What does Satan say to Eve? The day you have a fruit, you'll be like a God. So nothing has changed in thousands of years. If human beings do not change, if they did not make the shift in values and realize that without Earth they could not be here, then Earth and its love for its own initiation is reaching for a higher frequency, will bring about a cleansing that will balance it once again. So what is the cleansing? There is a potential for many people to leave the planet in an afternoon. The people who leave the planet during a time of Earth changes do not fit here any longer, and they are stopping the harmony of the Earth. I heard this 50 years ago when I was a New Ager. I didn't know what the rapture of a church was, but that's what I heard, and this is being promulgated by Chandler. They've already explained the way the rapture of a church. There you go. Wow. They've already explained it. I'm not making this up.
And so when the rapture happens, you believe that right now in the spacecraft, you talk about this in your book, when people are abducted in these spacecraft, and I want you to talk about cattle mutilation because this connects. And this is what I like about your book. It starts connecting the dots. So they are creating these artificial wombs. And so the cattle mutilation always happens the same. It's just surgically, other organs are surgically removed. There's no blood in the animal. Talk about that just a minute. Talk about cattle mutilation and what that has to do with abductions.
We have a film on cattle mutilations. Thank you, Gil Zimmerman, my business partner, co-director. It is the darkest film I've ever worked on, hands down, because we take the audience into Hell's Kitchen. and it's not a pleasant place to be. And there's no relief, and there's no happy ending. The animals, we actually interviewed Rancher Miller, who had 16 cattle mutilated on his property, 16 cattle mutilations on his property in 20 years. That's, almost one every year and a couple of months, right? It's very chilling. And he told us something which blew me away. Right outside, he's got 1,400 acres. Right outside of his farm, of his ranch, there's a road. It's a 2-lane highway. That's it. 2-lane highway. Speed limit's 45, 50 miles an hour. No turns. It's got a slight grade that goes up. Slight grade. Nothing, very, very slight grade. No trees, no nothing. Take a guess how many fatalities have been there since he moved in.
Yeah.
12 fatalities.
Oh, my gosh.
Within a mile of his house. That's
wow.
Statistically impossible. That's statistically impossible. Unless the road had like a dead man's curve. Nothing. Straight as an arrow. Straight as an arrow. How is that even possible? How is that possible? So when the rancher comes into his field at night, he has his four-wheeler or his, whatever, Jeep, whatever. He goes out to check on the herd, and everybody's fine. The herd usually congregates in one place, drops off some feed, bales of hay, whatever, leaves. Next morning, he gets up, goes out, checks the cows. All the cows have moved to another end of the pasture. There's one cow laying on its side. Rancher Miller goes up. He sees the cow. He's horrified. He's not sure what's going on. There's no blood, no footprints. Cow is laying on its side. You could see that the udders have been cored out. The eye has been cored out with surgical precision. The jaw has been stripped of flesh. The tongue is missing and cored out from way down here, right? No blood. The sex organs are moved out. No sign of predators. And the scavengers won't even get near it. He calls out the vet. The vet's never seen anything like it. He doesn't even know what he's looking at. They call out the law enforcement. Law enforcement has no idea. They've never seen it either. And then finally the reporter comes out. So what does this do? It creates fear throughout the community.
Right.
And, and I asked Rancher Miller in the film, what's the fear level on a scale of 1 to 10? And you can see he really doesn't want to say 10, so he says 8. Yeah. In my opinion, it's a 10. It's an absolute 10. And so this has been going on. So you say, why? And I think, I can't prove this, but Gil and I put this together, connected the parts. So cattle blood, when it can be used in human transfusions. And when you go online, you Google that, they've changed it. So you got to ask it in a certain way. Can cow blood be used as a human blood, substitute? And it'll lead it to you. When I did the research on it, there were articles from the American Medical Association. I have one on my desk here stating that this is absolutely, it's been approved. Now it's like they've kind of backpedaled, not sure why, but they backpedaled from that. So when a woman is abducted, and that's, Karen's book, I'll hold it up again so your audience can see it, Stolen Seed Evil Harvest. She was taken 3 different times. And when the baby is taken in the 3rd month of pregnancy, that hybrid entity needs someplace to come into full maturity. So they take it in the 3rd month, and there's no fetal tissue, no nothing. It's all gone. And are you sure you were pregnant? Yeah, you talked to my doctor, right? And that hybrid, which I believe is a modern day Nephilim, by the way, is put into an artificial womb. We also know that the Japanese are working on constructing an artificial womb. So this isn't sci-fi. We're doing it. And all the fallen ones are creating artificial wombs to help these things come into, maturity. And the abductees who were taken aboard the ship talk about seeing rooms with the glass-like vials with these hybrids in different stages of development. And I get it. People go, LA, this is beyond science fiction. And I get that, it is. But it's the deep end of the pool. And, we have this truncated view of the supernatural. We don't understand what the enemy is doing. I remember asking a late Chuck Messler, this is when we were doing the Watcher series with my late business partner, Richard Shaw. I said, Chuck, what about the hybrids? Without missing a beat, No hesitation, no rumination. Just he went boom. He goes, oh yeah, Satan's out number 2 to 1. He's building an army. There it is. It's the days of Noah.
That's right.
Days of Noah.
And so Karen, when she was abducted, these hybrid entities had sex with her. Is that right?
Yeah. She had a handler that basically raped her. Yeah. I mean, it's you got to read her book. It's very
well. But it's a common experience of men and women when they're abducted, not only the sexual experiments, but also to have sex. Now, this is a terrifying deal for them, and it is rape, but they're having sex. So what's happening is the UFO phenomenon. Many people would look at it from a scientific perspective or from the perspective of we're being visited from people of other planets. The truth is, this is a deception. It's now commonly known, because of all the footage that's out there now, it's now commonly known that UFOs are real. I mean, it's a real phenomenon. And when people talk about it now, there's not the stigma that there used to be, even with abductions. But these abductions are terrifying, number one. But the common element is the sexual experimentation and the mating. And in Karen's case, now she had been abducted. She was a little bitty girl, hadn't she?
Yeah, correct.
And so, but when she came into puberty, the abductions,
sexual thing started. Yeah.
Yeah. And so as it was in the days of Noah,
here we are.
And the defining characteristic of the days of Noah were the Nephilim. These fallen angels mating with human women. And Jesus said, when I come, it'll be like that again. And so now we see wherever they are they're not intergalactic, they're not extraterrestrial, they're interdimensional, they're demonic beings. They're the fallen angels and demonic beings, and they are mating. They're creating a hybrid race. So tell me what's going to happen to that hybrid race. So they're going to show up someday?
Well, they already are showing up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. People have had encounters with hybrids. In our film, 10-part DVD, we're the only Christian ministry that's there's 10 films in here. You can go streaming.lamarzulli.net and you can watch them, stream them, or you can buy the 10-box DVD set. So, and this is all the deep end of the pool. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about it. This is the deep end of the pool. So when a person is taken, when they're abducted, that baby is taken in the 3rd month of pregnancy, like we talked about. And Al Matthews, in our very first film, I flew up to Vancouver to interview him. We broke the story. So Al, just like Karen, was taken at a very young age, 5, 6 years old. And he's taken multiple times. When he goes into puberty, he's basically raped, and he talks about this. So he's a professional mover. So he has an assignment, and he meets this woman who's coming in with a cargo of stuff from Kuwait. Pretty gal, dressed nicely. He meets her, but she's got very dark wraparound glasses over her eyes. Al doesn't think anything of it. So now they're in the elevators. Never met this woman before, ever. And she leans over and whispers and goes, "They're listening, Al." And he goes, "Who's listening?" And she goes, "You know, the Greys. You and I were supposed to meet on the ships. I know that you've been taken just like I've been taken many times." So he's completely creeped out. And then he gives this woman his phone number. And in the film, I go, mistake number 1. And she calls him basically every night, wanting to have sex with him. And Al's got a girlfriend. But one night after work, he goes up and he meets with her. She's with her friend, and they're drinking wine out of these huge goblets of wine. And, they're making small talk. A deer fly, it was a really big fly, and it lands on the rim of the glass. And Al goes, "I'll get it." And she goes, no, I got it. And she reaches out with her finger like this. She doesn't grab the fly. She reaches out with her finger, and the finger sticks to her second finger like this. The fly sticks to the tip of the finger, and she brings it up to her mouth and she goes and sucks it in. She doesn't eat it. She sucks it in. So how's that possible? Then she takes off the glasses and she goes over to Al and she sits on his lap. This is what I call UFO brain fog, because you're not thinking right. So Al, I stop the camera. I stop the interview. The camera's still rolling. And I go, Al, you got a girlfriend. Why did you allow this? And he's like, realizing for the first time that, yeah, this is not normal behavior. I don't know why I did this. So she lifts up his shirt and rubs his chest and goes, Ma, you're well preserved. And then leans forward to kiss him. And at this point, Al sort of snaps out of it. He pushes her away. The eyes shapeshift and go yellow with black flecks around them. And she lets out the most evil laugh you've ever heard. That's just one. That's a hybrid being. And Al runs out of the room, terrified, goes to a mutual friend, Gordy Tong, and they get a hold of me. And I talk him off the ledge. We pray and we send him our resources, and he becomes a Christian. And then I fly up and interview him. That's just one. That's just one.
Well, so this phenomenon that's happening, what is Satan's end game? What's the purposes? Like, for example, the rapture happens and then they show up and we're your space brothers.
Yeah.
And is that what's going to happen?
Yeah. It's when they show up, they will say that they created all life on this planet. That's the neo-Darwinists are going, yeah, we knew that. Thank you. Really cool. Yeah. All the ancient astronauts there. See, we knew. And by the way, all those pesky Christians are gone. Those fundamentalists, they're out of here. We got rid of them because they're not ready for the big cosmic deal that we're about to do. So they will say that we created all life on this planet. E.T. created all life on this planet. That E.T. genetically manipulated early man. That E.T. started the world's civilizations. E.T. started the world's religions. Now E.T. is back at this critical juncture to usher mankind into a golden age. And everybody's going, yay! That's the 7-year tribulation.
And how does that relate to the Antichrist? How does he play into that?
Chuck Missler used to state that the Antichrist would boast some sort of an alien connection. He would be a hybrid. Think about it. He's the son of perdition. See, this is why people don't get it. The Holy Spirit overshadows Mary. DNA is somehow exchanged, right? But there's no intercourse, nothing like that. But the virgin conceives. How is it even possible? And then Jesus, fully God, fully man, this is just mind-boggling. He breaks the opening to the womb when he comes out, because Mary was a virgin until that's right, virgin birth. So from the inside out, I mean, it's the cosmic implications here are unbelievable. So Satan, of course, is a great imitator, and this is why make a film like Rosemary's Baby? Yeah. Right? Yeah. We're telling you exactly that, hey, guess what? This is real. And Rosemary had the baby, and it was the Antichrist. I think he's walking on the planet now.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
So what do believers do? How does this relate to the everyday believer? Because we've only just barely touched into all of your rungs here. How do people today deal with this information?
Well, you need to understand that all I'm doing is connecting prophetic dots. That men faint from this, Jesus' own words. Men faint from fearfulness coming upon the earth. Even the elect would be deceived if that were possible. Unless those days were shortened, no flesh would survive. Paul, Satan comes with all signs and lying wonders. So something is coming, which is absolutely unprecedented. And Jesus warns us to be like the days of Noah, which, you need to have the proper exegesis of the days of Noah. So a Christian, the churches need to be talking about this. Christians should be looking up, and Christians should be able to give an answer to all this, but most of them have no idea. And the churches don't, for the most part, unfortunately, never talk about any of this.
No. And the thing I think that matters, L.A., is, when people hear credible reports of UFOs, a lot of people start doubting the Bible.
There you go.
Dan Brown came out with his book years ago, The Da Vinci Code, that had the swoon theory, that Jesus married Mary Magdalene, all that stuff. Millions of people renounce their faith, and it's a proven lie. And so UFOs are a fact. I mean, when the Navy shows footage of the Tic Tac and all that, it's a fact that those things exist, and it's a worldwide phenomenon. Abductions, it's just like John Mack's book. It's just a fact that those things happen. Well, what it causes, if you believe that's extraterrestrial, then what it causes is, well, maybe my Bible's not telling me the truth.
Exactly.
But the Bible is telling the truth. And going back to Genesis 3:15, the seed war, Genesis chapter 6, the Nephilim, and Jesus says, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. And now you talked about Daniel 12, seal this book up, Daniel, until the time of the end. Travel, people will go to and fro, and knowledge will increase. LA, in the last few years, we've seen a tsunami of knowledge increase with AI like we've never seen in the history of the world.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And there's no doubt that AI is going to create the beast system that can track every human on earth and for the first time control humanity through the Antichrist and all that. So I'm saying we are there. All arrows point right here.
I agree completely. I think the time is short. I'm not a date setter, but more than likely next Wednesday. Of course, I say that tongue in cheek. Yeah. But I think we're close to something. I did a show an expose on my show. There's a church in Switzerland that has an AI Jesus. You can go up and talk to him. I mean, how do you know what's real and what isn't? You don't know. He's got to come back, for those of us who are looking for his coming. Not everybody's looking for his coming. That's right. That's the prerequisite, A lot of the church, the rapture, that's a Schofield and Darby. Excuse me. Behold, the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, with the trump of God, but dead in Christ will rise first. We who are alive and remain will be caught up, harpazo, that's where we get rapture from, together with those in the clouds to greet the Lord in the air. So shall we evermore be with the Lord. I mean, I'm not making this up. It was just hidden from the common man till Gutenberg's printing press. And then Tyndale is burnt at the stake for translating it in English. You can't make this up, right? So, all these guys did was look at it and go, oh my gosh, we're going to get beamed out of here. And we will. I think it's soon.
Yeah, I do too. And I really, really, really appreciate your work, and you're a very thorough investigative reporter.
Thank you.
But I appreciate so much the way that the integrity that you have to Scripture, and the way that you're putting all the information together. Again, we've just scratched the surface. Rungs of disclosure, following the trail of the extraterrestrials in the end times. Ellie, where can people go to get this book and more information about your ministry?
Well, LAMarzulli.com, that's the overarching wheelhouse. That's where everything is. There's 33 films, 14 books. The 15th book is coming out in March. You can also get Rungs of Disclosure on Amazon, my store, whatever works. And we ship every day, so almost every day. So either place you can get it.
Blessings on you guys, your family, and thank you so much for joining me today, L.A. Appreciate it very much.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you. L.A., thank you so much for joining me again today. Fascinating information. If you've listened to me for very long, I'm not into sensationalism at all. This is something, these programs that we're doing here, this is the greatest deception, I believe, in the history of the world. What's happening right now related to UFOs. And this is research. This is documented in his book, Rungs of Disclosure. I mean, this is so well documented. And so I encourage you to read this book. LA is just absolutely fascinating. Let me also say we're in a year-end fundraiser right now. We're raising money for Israel and also for Tipping Point. All of our donations that come in for the rest of the year, half goes to Tipping Point to help us continue and also grow this ministry. Also, half of it's going to Israel. Magen David Adom. It means the Red Star of David. That's like our Red Cross. In Israel, they just do a phenomenal job under the worst of circumstances over there. The midst of war, the midst of terrorism, all that's going on. They have a fantastic network of ambulances, paramedics, medical care all through the nation of Israel. And we're helping them right now. Half of everything that comes in, all the donations between now and the end of the year goes to Magen David Adom. We want to buy at least one ambulance. If we raise $500,000, that means $250,000 goes to Tipping Point, and then $250,000 is going to go to them. And if we raise $500,000, and we're going to raise at least that, is we're going to buy one ambulance. We're going to be able to train paramedics and also buy medical equipment for them over there. But the more we raise, the more ambulances we're going to be able to buy, the more paramedics we can train, more medical equipment we can buy for them. And I met with their leadership yesterday, their global leadership, and they just are so thankful for what we're doing. But they desperately need the help over there right now. So you can bless Israel and bless Tipping Point at the same time. There's a link on your screen there. Now you can go to endtimes.com, donate right there. But there's a link on your screen. That's a brochure. It'll give you all the details about what we're doing right now and also tells you how to give. But thank you so much, all of you that have already given. But if you would look at that and pray over that, we really need your help. Tipping Point needs your help, and Israel needs your help. And this is such a wonderful opportunity to help Israel in a big, big way. Help the Jewish people, to bless them. God says, whoever blesses them, he's going to bless. So if you want to be blessed, bless the nation of Israel. This is a great opportunity. So just click that link there, and that'll tell you all that you need to know. But thank you so much for joining us for these fascinating shows by L.A. Marzulli. I'll see you next time right here on Tipping Point.